Okay. Good evening, everyone. Looks like we're live. Hello. Welcome back to NieR Automata, or Automata. I'm going to go with NieR Automata. I'm going to try and remember that that's how I'm working on pronouncing this. No. What's going on? Anyway, we are here tonight to continue 9S's story, or the story from 9S's perspective, I suppose, as the case might be. So let's get into it. Hopefully it remembers my settings, like audio settings. You know what? I'm just gonna trust. I'm gonna trust that it gets it right this time. We'll see. We will see. All right. So, I have in other news, I've tried something new food-wise, because what else is this stream other than I know it's about philosophy and I know I'm playing video games. Really, it's a food stream, obviously. That's what we're doing, is we're talking about food. And so I've tried something new recently, which is matcha. I've never actually tried matcha before, like this weekend. I accidentally got it at a Wawa's on the way home late at night, Saturday-ish. I don't know, something like that. It was very good. Almost surprisingly, I wasn't sure what to expect, but very, very good. To the point where I got it's a lot of things. To the point where I ordered a little pouch of the stuff. And I've been making some things with it. I had a latte earlier, which was good. Do we want to check out our side quests first, or do we just want to go for it? I think we just kind of want to go for it. We should do side quests, shouldn't we? Well, we won't be able to do it. We might not be able to do it later. That's what happened near the end of our last sort of playthrough. So, yeah, let's do that. Let's just go do side quest type stuff first. Then we'll catch up and then we will catch up and do our underground thing, where we catch up to our machine android. Hey. Quite the thing. Bradley says the side quests have a lot of nice world building. So I've noticed a lot of that. Also, hello to you too. I mean, at this point, for 9S at least, hacking is pretty much my go-to method of combat. Anyway, but yeah, I'm actually liking matcha a bit. Oh, it's the race. I don't want to do the race. I don't want to do it. That's the parade. I could probably go do that. That shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, we can go do the parade. What is this? Amnesia. It's the quest, though. Is the quest amnesia, or is that... Yeah, yeah, just go do that on our way. Then we'll go do the parade over there that we couldn't do last time. All right. So, I'm actually enjoying it a lot. I made a matcha, like, milkshake. I guess milkshake. It's ice cream and matcha powder and milk. I think that counts. It's tasty stuff. Otherwise, Otherwise, not too much new been going on. If you weren't here Thursday, if you weren't here for my stream on Thursday for Dragon Age, yeah, we played some Dragon Age Awakening.
We need to find someone wearing a red hood.
Oh, that's what this is. Right. Red hood. Red hood. Red hood. Red hood. Loot. Red hood. Yeah. Not a hood. Red. She knows. Welcome back. If you're going something, you're flattish. No, it's not. After. That's a hood, but it's not a red one. Oh, up there. Looks like a red cape at least. Say, nice hood. You make it? This? No, a girlfriend of mine gave it to me. The first time I've worn it in public. Do you really like it? Yes, it's great. In fact, I wish I had one for myself. You happen to know where she got it? No, sorry, I didn't think to ask. You know where your friend is? Maybe I'll go ask her myself. And you really like this hood. Hey, Rally. Did you happen to get ideas from this? Last I heard, she was out at the desert station. Okay, shouldn't be hard to find. I think she's the only one there. Thanks, I appreciate it. Hope you managed to get a hood of your own. Deserts... Not a jackass,
Sounds like
is
that
it?
red hood was a gift of some sort.
Gifts are such a useless ritual.
Wow, okay. Where'd that come from?
It's rude to give a person something without their permission. What if they don't want it?
I think it's more about the feeling behind it than the actual item, right?
Feelings are prohibited.
Yeah.
One affirmation will suffice.
Oh, for the love of... Fine. Yeah.
Gosh. Very Cyberman-ish. Also very... I guess pseudo-autistic, I guess. Rowley says, maybe I get lots of ideas, lol. So to clarify, there was a in our Star Wars tabletop game, we were looking for a contact who dressed a certain way with including a very noticeable cape. I think he was even red. I don't remember from the image. But a very unique and noticeable cape. And so we were looking for the guy, and we happened across somebody on this space station. We were looking for him, and we see somebody basically dressed the same, or at least having the very same, very distinctive hood. Let's go there first, and then over back to the den. The same very distinctive hood, and so we stalk the guy for a little bit, as one does when one is sketchy, and doing, underworld type stuff. Smuggler, and we had to track him down for a shipment type of thing, but long story, not the relevant part. But we we find this guy, and it so happens that that he was... What's with the red? That's interesting. That's why I hacked. That took forever. Anyway, but it turns out that the guy we were stalking, who we thought was our mark, had just purchased.
Analysis. It is a cave-in caused by the collapse of an open space underground.
Yeah, we knew this.
Why is there such a huge cavern beneath the city?
But we were, it turns out he had just bought it, of course. And that he had just bought it from somewhere on the station. And when we tracked down who it was from, or, who the, it's like local little shop. They had gotten it from recent delivery from a smuggler who just dropped it off as a crate completely full of these capes that were very distinctive of the guy we happen to be looking for. To make it harder to find the guy. So instead, we went to where we were expecting to find his ship, or the general area, and happened to cross him nearby, and doing the perfectly normal and not incredibly sketchy sort of thing. We beat him up, stunned him, and brought him back to our ship, and then had our buddies. What's a nice way of putting it? Search his vessel for contraband, and take it back to our Rebel HQ. So, yeah. Basically, we found a guy who was trying to hide, and we beat him up and took his stuff and him. And it involved a cape. And a very clever form of hiding. Alright, let's see if we can do this parade thing. Mr. Balloons. You're an android, are you not? Yes, it might be full of love. Don't you think we need to express more happiness on our daily lives, I suppose? Exactly, in which case, you seem just the person to help me make this world a better place. Okay. Really? You believe in the dream of connecting the entire world with love? I do. I see. Then perhaps I can believe in you. See, there are many machines who detest fighting, and as such, I've decided to gather them together in order to hold a parade. It will be a parade of love and friendship for all. However, as it turns out, there are many among us who frown upon such outspoken expressions of peace. Therefore, I'm hoping you'll protect the parade. Yes, let's do it. Thank you for your support. If you'd keep my companions safe while we conduct the parade, I would be ever so happy. Show everyone the power of friendship. Okay, let's start hacking somebody.
Alert. Exiting the planned operational area.
Okay. Erica says, hope you have a backup character for tomorrow. We are playing Tomb of Annihilation. This seems a little inverted. You know, spreading helping a parade spread a message of love and peace by hacking, subjugating, and exploding dissenters. Seems a little bit, if you've ever played or are familiar with the D&D module Curse of Strahd, this reminds me a bit of the kind of thing that you would encounter in Valaki. Yeah, I've been trying to shoot the things, yeah. One more. Where are they parading to anyway? This is a dead end. Oh, they can do that. That's cool. I don't know what it was just doing there, but it wasn't good. I really hope this explosion isn't going to hurt my friends. Okay, it didn't. Yeah. For those of you who aren't as D&D familiar, Tomb of Annihilation is kind of notorious for killing characters by the large handful. So, you know, given that we are playing Tomb of Annihilation and it is more or less as written, there is a distinct possibility of needing backup characters. Sorry. Yeah, I think there's only one left. One friendly left, and it's not very good. Oh no, there's two. One barely. Woo. Subjugate. Oh, we did it? Thank you very much. Managed to complete the parade without being annihilated. Very close, but yes. I know this isn't much of a reward, but please accept it. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff. Alright. How wonderful. I think our joy really came across this time. Soon be holding another parade elsewhere. Hope we can count on your support for that as well. Maybe. So do you think us fools? I'm sorry, I hope to see you again. Ah, okay, well let's loot all of this destruction. And let's go to the desert. All right. Not the race. I hate the race. Yeah, there we go. There's a bunch of new stuff in the Pascal's village too. Have to go back there. Way out here. Oh, there's a couple of things way out here too. Trial, and then that's the memory, I think. Go out to the desert real quick. Oh, jeez. Shouldn't have done this.
That's a weird-looking enemy.
Oh. Let's leave. It is a weird-looking enemy. Just keep going. Keep going for now. Alright. So, going that way was a mistake. Hey, pigs. All right. Ooh, now that's an idea. Erica says it could be a pirate.
Our red-hooded target should be in the
Oh.
desert.
Let's do
Stay
that next.
alert. She could be our killer.
But there's only one female resistance member at the desert station.
So Erica brought up the idea of for backup characters about being a pirate. But you'd want to talk to about if you're set on it. I might want to play Dorian. Okay. Capture renegade Yora members. Yeah. Work on that.
Operator 210 to 9S. Be aware that the following transmission is classified privilege level 5. A group of Yorha fighters deployed to the city ruins have deserted. We need you to take care of them immediately. And 9S, be careful.
Okay.
Yorha members deserting? And attacking the resistance, no less?
Proposal. Rogue Yorha units should be captured and detained in order to keep collateral damage at a minimum.
Detained? Easy for you to say.
All right. Also, speaking of food, I didn't mention. I happen to have a brownie here that Erica made, so thank you very much for that. I know, occasionally, delicious brownie bite.
I don't see her.
Let's ask that guy over there.
What's that? You're looking for a resistance lady? Oh, you must mean Jackass, huh? Every time there's an issue, old Jackass tries to solve it with explosives or some other violent method. Thinks he's off doing geological research in one of the desert caves. I'll send you the coordinates if you want. Oh, but if you're just gonna head out there, make sure you don't get caught up in one of our explosions here. Interesting. Alright, let's go find her. I'm also going to have to mute next time I take a bite. I was watching my sound there. Sorry about the crunch. There are nuts in these brownies. They're very good. Nuts and caramel. You know, for being the not technically combat option, hacking is awfully destructive. Whee! Ow. Ow. This way? Ow. Got hit.
Requested material obtained.
Oh. I didn't even realize. Looking for that. Cool though. Alright, let's try the other way. So anyway, if you, in case you weren't here Thursday, playing Dragon Age, one of the big topics that we're talking about throughout most of the week, or throughout most of the sort of second half of the stream, was Loki, new show. Didn't care for it. I'm interested to hear if you guys, for those of you who weren't here, interested to hear you guys' thoughts on it. I thought there were a lot of very far-reaching problems, both with the character and the character development stuff, and with the world building that undermined quite a bit of what had come before, to a massive, massive degree that in some cases, good performances could not overcome. Just really could not. If you're interested, I can talk more about it, with the fear of potentially interrupting once in a while stuff. I'll try and avoid that though. If I do want to go on a rant about it, I will once again. Last time, I'll try and just go through a rant about it. And here's some story though, so I do want to read some of this. So, Jackass, who wants to know? We're with Yora. We're conducting a field investigation. Don't we already know? We already know Jackass. Anyway, well, yippee for you. Listen, did you happen to give a red hood to a friend earlier? The red is perfect for our new Yora colors. So we were hoping to. That old piece of crap? Yeah, I gave it to her. Hell, I never wanted it in the first place. So it came from someone else originally? God. Yeah, bought it stupid right after that explosion in the city ruins. Some resistance with red hair. So it was her. Okay. Get me to buy it. Only did it to get her off my case. Well, and because I thought it might look good on my friend, but if you tell her that, you're dead. Red-haired resistance member. Same color as our client's hair. Client. Nothing. That's just her nickname. The Client. It's dumb. It was pretty creepy, though. Kept grinning at me like a crazy person. Oh, well, thanks for your help. We'll be on our way. is definitely weird. Let's check other. Let's not. Well. This, but nah. Let's do that. You know what? No. Let's wait till we can fast travel to do that. Impulse melancholy. Well, maybe we should, because we have to go through there. Housing complex. Yeah, might as well go out into the desert. Out proper. How do I get over there?
Alert. The description of a female resistance member with red hair matches that of our client.
But if it's the same person, why would she have had the killer's hood?
Hypothesis. The red-haired resistance member is either the killer or an accomplice. Let's go talk to her.
Which is very strange. But not impossibly strange. Heck do I get out of these caves? It's getting annoying. Anyway, so Loki. First of all, the little stuff. Again, this will be a little redundant for those of you who were joining us last week or last Thursday. Those of you who weren't, we're back here. Is there another way out of here? Gotta be a way out of this chasm. There's not. I'm peeved. Anyway, so forgive the redundancy if any of it is, if you've already heard some of this Thursday. I talked about a lot of the same stuff on Thursday. I have had a few new, big new thoughts about it. I think two world-breaking, world-shattering, unlike the series, which is actually quite world-breaking, world-shattering. The first of all, positive things. The aesthetic was cool. It's a little nonsensical and a bit of a hodgepodge, but cool. The performances, some of them were very good. I really did like Tom Hiddleston. He does a great job as Loki, as always. At least as good a job as he can, given the material he was given the script, which, as I kind of mentioned, is not great from a character standpoint, and from a world-building standpoint, obviously. But I really did like Owen Wilson. I like his character. It's still just kind of Owen Wilson, but with some little quirks. But he is always a great character actor, so I don't mind. He was endearing. In any case, please be an escape. I only ask for an escape. Okay. Whee! I didn't escape. Didn't work. Oh gosh. Okay. Please. I only want a way out of these caves. It's got some cool nostalgia bits, I guess. Even though that's kind of the whole point. But otherwise, there isn't much I can unfortunately say that's very positive. From a character standpoint, I mentioned the writing for Loki. Like I said, the acting was great because it's Tom Hiddleston. He always does a good job with what he's given. But what he was given, the actual script and the character writing, was not nearly up to standard. it was, first of all, it was certainly not a good portrayal of Loki at that point in his timeline, so to speak. In his timeline, this is right after the Battle of New York. This is this is Avengers Loki. This is the megalomaniacal, literally just tried to take over the world by working for Thanos, Loki. This is not the Loki that's gone through another several years of character development and had a big old arc that culminated in having, being besties with Thor and all this stuff that we know and love now as Loki. And he is definitely not written as the hyper-competent arch-villain that we know and love so very much from the Avengers. Loki was certainly the best villain of part one. Phase one, sorry. Whatever. And this is not the same Loki, clearly. This is a little bit more like the softer, more developed Loki that we encounter later, that comes to develop later. But even still, not quite. Because this Loki, the Loki is portrayed in the show, is not competent. He is very easily tricked, easily fooled, easily overpowered in all kinds of situations that were far less threatening than situations that he was easily able to overcome literally minutes earlier from his standpoint in the Avengers. Minutes, hours, whatever, very, very recently, immediately prior. He's beaten up by the TVA people, the time cops, who are basically, as best I can tell at least, more or less baseline humans, which is confusing to say the least, as to why they are humans in this extra-temporal creation of the space lizards, which has its own problems that we'll get to. But I digress. As far as Loki goes, again, like I said, he is very passive. He is kind of talked at and led around for mostly purposes of exposition, rather than being the badass villain that we all love from Avengers, right? So, I think in large part this was done in part for purposes of exposition, right? Because you need a sort of fish out of water type audience stand-in to a degree, so you can figure out what's going on, so you can sort of exposit to the audience and explain, okay, well, what is this place? What's this place like? What are the rules here, and all of that. Okay, fine, I suppose. That's not a good role for Loki, but it's a reason for that kind. There might be relics just beneath the surface. I'm researching the old world. You guys are with Yora, right? Say, if you find me in the desert that looks like a relic, can you bring it to me? I'll find a way to reward you for the trouble. Okay, cool. Anything else in here? It's the fighty fight thing right now. Let's do that.
Relics from the old world.
Searching for relics in the desert without assistance might prove difficult. Proposal. Unit 9S should use the dynamic scanner.
Rally, you can tell me if this quest is worth doing. This does seem tedious. In any case, so we've got Loki being, passive and not very effectual, and these are especially, the people he's fighting and being beaten easily by are shown to be quite defeatable. which is another problem from a world-building standpoint, but we can come back to that too. And especially from somebody like Loki, who really should know better. As well as, what really I hadn't really thought of, and I hadn't really mentioned this on Thursday so much, with the dialogue with Owen Wilson's character about why he does what he does, right? The psych eval basically that he gets, where he openly admits, and privately, like, right? No, so not like he's posturing or not like he's trying to manipulate anyone, but he openly admits that he sees himself as weak, which Loki would not, and that he does the things he does for power over people. Which, okay, fine, that's fine. I get it. He has always sought power. But I could. Oh, I can't do it with pod out, can I? Anyway. He's always sought, sought power over people. That's fine, I guess. All right, fair enough. But he certainly didn't see himself as weak, and he didn't see his quest for power as a kind of compensation for anything. What's that? Aha! A thing. Or. Okay, boring. Hi, Mashed Potato. Good to see you. Rowley says, all quests are worth doing, while some are worth doing twice, so you can see 9 has to take on them. Okay. I'm just... this struck me initially as a kind of padding collection quest. You know what I'm talking about? The kind of thing that in an ordinary RPG would not have much in terms of story consequences, but it would work for completionist purposes. Gustavo says, I don't think the quest is really worth it. It takes a lot of time. Maybe it's something I can come back and do off stream or something. Oh, where am I searching? Where's this box? Oh, hey. God, gorgeous music. Let's see what's up. Guys, you're the guys who got those chips back for me, right? Boy, do I ever owe you one. I suppose you noticed those chips were Yora, huh? Now there's a reason for that. Let me introduce you to the new addition to my... family? I was wanted family, you know, or at least I was pretty sure I did. Seeing all the machines living together in the same area was starting to make me lonely. So I went out and stole a broken down Yora body, hoping I can repair it and use it to kick off my very own family. Hello? You know this violates all kinds of regulations, right? I know it isn't right, but I don't care. I need someone I can live with, someone I can protect. You won't tell anyone, will you? Please? It's an S-type. You won't tell anyone, will you? Interesting. Yeah, Rally, this is the collect human stuff quest. In the desert, in particular. Gustavo says, nope, the one you have to use the scanner in the desert to find the relics. Oh, okay. Wait, is it the same? I thought that was the same thing. I thought the relics were like human stuff. Ah, come on. Hello there. Heck. Huh? Came from Master Jean-Paul's village, didn't you? I can tell you, I can smell him on you. Why? Really? Jesus. Yeah, that's weird. Paul is wonderful. He pursues new knowledge with a passion that is almost indescribable. I admire him as I do no other. You have issues. Yeah. And you clearly lack a discerning eye. I bet men take advantage of you all the time. Projection? Not exactly. Alright, I found something that Master Jean-Paul is sure to be interested in. Please take it to him with all speed. Machine fossil. Well, that's not extremely... Anyway. And, of course, I can't withdraw it. I'm very sad about that. Anything else in this area? Or any way out of this area? No. Not or... Over there, but it doesn't look like it. I don't think so. Anyway. Another sort of broader thing. And this may seem like a weird thing to say, weird thing to bring up. But almost all of the characters, certainly all the side characters in Loki that I can think of, seem to me as if they would have been better for the story. They would have better served the narrative if they had been the opposite gender. Those in particular that I'm thinking of are Owen Wilson's character would have probably been better as a woman. He plays basically the same role in the story as the psychologist in Falcon the Winter Soldier, Bucky's psych, whatever. You know, his therapist. He basically plays the role of the therapist who is nurturing the team. It's a lot of feminine traits. His interactions with the other characters, the judge in particular, are relatively feminine and would work well if they were portrayed by a woman. I would say, like I said, kind of the opposite for the judge. The very perhaps unsettlingly young woman, and I think that was probably the point, that she's very young. But I think that an unsettlingly young man, again, would have fit the role better. Fit the role, fit the part that they played, fit the interaction with the other characters, and all of that. It would have just fit far, far better. And of course, the main TVA time cop lady. She was very clearly meant to be intimidating. Like, her presence was meant to be intimidating, and she did not carry herself with an intimidating sort of presence, in really any way. Something below. Isn't there? Can't go through there. Come on. Or. Alright, fine. Anyway. But she was clearly meant to be, intimidating. And she was large and, burly and such, but again, the role would have fit better with a large and intimidating man. I'll also add to this little list the secretary, the fish guy who didn't know what fish were. He also probably would have been better fit the narrative than if he were a woman. Particularly because Loki threatening to murder a woman, rather than the Weasley and pathetic man. If she had been a waifish and fearful woman, that would have been far more impactful in terms of making Loki out to be an intimidating, back to being a real villain. It's even the kind of thing that we saw repeatedly in the Avengers. Again, for Loki, mere minutes ago. Like the last couple of days, he had been threatening innocent people, and particularly been very intimidating and intimidated women, especially innocent women. It's a simple psychological reaction. Where you don't want to see women in particular threatened by imposing men. So, like I said, most of the characters I think would be better suited if they were the opposite gender. Now, of course, rumors are saying that we are going to get a female Loki at some point. Again, comics and mythology accurate. Fair enough. So maybe that. But again, I don't know how well that fits this story. Well, we have to see. I don't know. It'll depend on the role that she or he or whatever fits into. Yes, I got the items. An order of useless crap as requested. Oh no, Father Servo. Oh ho, Father Servo can finally achieve oneness with the universe. You don't say. Just wait, my child. When you return, Father Servo will be more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Okay. Alright, where to? Village? Probably the village. Another escort? That's odd. Let's go to the village. Oh. Mashed potato. I was trying very hard to decipher the first, whatever your first spelling of that. I thought you were. I honestly, at first, thought you may have been referring to something in Norse mythology, what would appear to be non-English spelling. But yes, good question. About Father Servo, is he the crotch? Yeah, I don't know which head is his sort of primary head. It's not clear. He may be the crotch head. Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah, the layout of a lot of these machines is very strange. What is that? Oh, hello. That's a badman. Got it. So yeah, the I think what are the other just sort of minutia? Oh, something that I didn't think of or mention on Thursday. was the the architecture and the design, the sort of layout of everything.
Hey, stop right this instant! No! Get away from me, dummy!
What? I'll come back to that.
What was all that about?
No idea.
Hey. Excuse me, can I ask what just happened? Oh, this is embarrassing, but if you must know, I was arguing with my child. You don't say. The boy just refuses to listen to me, and now he's gone and run off to who knows where. This is terribly forward for me, but would you mind finding him and bringing him home? I'd go by myself, but I'd never survive out there on my own. Sure, we'll see what we can do. You big softy. Let's go and do that. Wait, I figured he would be right there. He does not seem very fast. All the way back there? No. I'll do that later. I'm going back to the village first. It's nuts. I'll go find him just later. Back over that way.
So this machine mother has a child, eh? It's surprising to see them form familial units like that. I wonder if they'll let us examine their brain circuits if we bring the kid home.
Your scientific curiosity is getting out of hand, NieR.
Joking! I'm joking!
Are you, though?
Mostly.
That's it. Now my companion can fix what's been ailing him. I'm so glad we trusted you. Leave this place as soon as we can. Please pray for our safe passage. Oh, wow, that jump thing is so helpful. I wish I'd known that a long time ago. Wait, where's jump Paul? It's over here, right? We learned a bit about Jean Paul now. Yeah, I have a thing for you. Indeed, is there any purpose or need of the objects we find in the world? Consider, if you will, this place, or this village, or even myself. We're here with a present for you. A present? Of what sort? It's a fossil. One of your followers asked us to deliver it to you. I see. You said you were incredibly passionate when it came to learning, or something like that. Mechanical fossil, no use at all. You want us to tell her anything on your behalf, or... I'll not waste words on mere junk. Junk! John Paul doesn't seem to appreciate these presents he's getting. Suppose we should go tell his followers exactly what he thinks of them, huh? They'll be waiting for some kind of reply. Okay, then. He locked himself in again. Okay. Yeah, let's help. Love this one. Shouldn't be proud of hiding in the world. Besides, I thought you had a girlfriend. Maybe, but I'll tell you if you get my lock open. It's so stupid. There we go. Got it. You win. Do you even know how much trouble you've caused for everyone, young man? Well, do you? Okay, kid, spill it. What's your deal? I've been trying, okay? I went out and I talked to everyone I saw. I even talked to the girl I liked. It was fun. Then it got hard, because you can't just talk to people, you know? You have to read between the lines and stuff. So I kind of decided that staying inside was way easier. Gosh, just one of these. But I have a dream now. I'm gonna be the best shut-in I can possibly be. Oh god. Next time, I'm gonna make a lock you won't be able to break in a bajillion quintillion years. Will you listen to me, my darling boy? Will you listen to my darling boy? He has a goal now. How wonderful. It's all thanks to you. Don't mention it. Oh, I have the feeling you're back to square one. Alright then. What's on your mind? I wanted to ask you something. About being pacifists. Ah, you wish to know the reason we in the village detest fighting. Well, it's a bit of a heady concept, but in the end, I suppose it's because conflict has ceased to have meaning for us. Care to explain? We machines are weapons created for the purpose of waging war. However, this war simply goes on and on with no end in sight. We've come to realize that the cost of fighting for us as individuals far outweighs any benefits that victory might bring. I believe we will eventually live to see a day when androids and machine life forms are able to live together in peace. Not likely. Well, don't be a dick about it. Wait, I thought you had a quest. A quest. At the village. In our day-to-day existence? Well, as you know, we are machines. We do not require food or other typical sustenance. As our core provide near infinite supply of energy. You, however, deteriorate over time, which means we need to procure parts and repairs. Still, it's not like we break all that often. To be completely honest, life in the village is rather slow. Okay, what about the shop? Is there a shop in our village, Pascal? Not like you folks use money. Oh, we do. For us, simple materials take the role of currency. Each machine isn't equal, which means the traditional capitalistic acquisition systems of the past don't work for us. Instead, our economy is focused on trading materials according to one's need. Oh, come on! Trading materials according to one's need is literally capitalism. Shut up. Jesus. This is all that means. Okay, so the rejection of currency is not synonymous with the rejection of markets or the rejection of capitalism. The rejection of currency is simply the rejection of one particular technology. That's it. Potato Johnson says, eternal shut-in gang. I can't. Especially after this last year where it really seems like introverts have taken over the world and ruined it. That was mean. I apologize. Not fair. Anyway. Okay. Money is just it's a technology. It is a tool. It's a means of exchange, of indirect exchange and a store of value. It means that it allows me to trade with you, even if we don't have what economists call a double coincidence of wants, right? Which is almost always very, very rare. Money is the reason that we in our society don't have those stupid long chains of fetch quests that you often find in RPGs, where you have to trade with someone for something, not because you want it, but because this person wants it, and you get what they want because they have something the next person wants, and the next, and the next, and the next, until you actually get the thing that you eventually wanted. Those kinds of quest lines. That is the result of a barter economy. A barter economy which lacks money. Money being, as I said, a medium of indirect exchange. Money cuts out the middlemen, or gives a job for the middlemen. Either way, or both, depends. And what it allows is for me to trade with you, whoever you are, even if we don't interact with one another, even if we don't know each other, even if we don't know what each other want, right? I give what I have, what I want to sell, what I have and don't want, I exchange for money, this store of value, universally agreed upon store of value. And what that does is, it allows me to give to you what you want, right? Because you want the thing I have. I don't know that. But you know that, and you want it, and you signal that by saying, I will offer this much money for it. Cool. I don't even have to interact with you. I can sell my goods to somebody else, who will then take it to you. And because they value money, not intrinsically, but because they can exchange it for what they want, it facilitates every aspect of trade in an economy. This goes back to, the theory behind this goes back to at least Plato, right? This is not a novel concept of the modern period or anything, right? This understanding of money goes, like I said, all the way back at least to Plato, who understood that money allows for things like specialization, indirect trade, savings, investment, all of the stuff that allows us to build rather than simply use and deplete. So it's a very, very money, that is a very, very useful technology. It's not just a something that you wish to acquire for the sake of acquiring it for its own sake, which you absolutely shouldn't, right? That's a weird, disturbing perversion of money. See if I have a lecture or two that is slightly relevant to this, that I'll put in the description afterwards. Plato on all of this, which is, again, more my area of specialization rather than the modern theories, which I have to study because it's relevant to ethics, and relevant to human behavior and all that. In any case, this is one of those hippie views of money that doesn't actually track with reality. It's basically saying that, hey, here's this technology that allows us to do a lot of the things that we want to do, but I don't want to use it because people use it poorly in some circumstances. Anyway, the whole hatred of money is just as or almost at least as much of a moral problem as the love of money. Anyway, let's continue. It was a lesson we learned from mankind's past history. Most fascinating, don't you think? It's not. You didn't learn mankind's past history very well. We've made it a point of emphasis to teach our children about different economic systems. You should speak to them if the subject is of further interest. Did you though? Quest. Looks fun. What you doing? It's being weird. Asked if he wanted a coin with low value or one that's high value. He said he wanted the worthless one. Seriously? You kid. I've got one coin that's worth a little and one that's worth a lot. Which one do you want? The little one. You sure about that? Yeah, because it looks cool. Thanks a lot. See? He's weird. What a dummy. I'm a dummy. Hee. Thanks a lot. This little guy might have a bad mathematical processor. Or maybe his logic circuits got crossed somehow. You should probably take a look inside. Let's see what we got. Oh, jeez, really? Ah. Ow. More complex than I was expecting. Try this again. Jeez. Being this far zoomed out is kind of makes this much more difficult. Oh my gosh, okay, let's try this differently. Whew! That one's rough. If your logic circuits are this advanced, why are you behaving like that? I suppose there's no point in pretending anymore. It's simple, really. If I pretend to prefer smaller denominations of coins, people around me are so entertained, they keep giving them to me. In this fashion, I'm able to earn far more than I would if I asked with larger units of currency. There's an important lesson here. The more of a fool people take you for, the more you'll learn of their truth. Oh, but keep this between us now, alright? I need them to keep thinking I'm slow. There's a little hush money to smooth things over. That's freaking brilliant. Oh my gosh. That's really, really... I love that.
I'm not sure I even know what it means to be smart anymore.
Reply unknown. Terms are too vague to formulate a reasoned response.
Don't I know it?
It's pretty brilliant. Might help with a small project, information on the old world. Yeah, sure. You. Show me everything of interest. Data on the old world. It's the old world information. Cool. Let me know if you find any more. Alright, cool. Save here. Okay. That's all of that. Wait, not that. That's fine. Alright. Let's go find that machine over there. Ignore the inventor for... Let's try the Yora Betrayers, because we weren't able to finish that last time. Last time through. Anyway. So, other issues I was noticing with Loki. And this is something I more realized over this weekend, so I didn't really mention this on Thursday. And it's about the architectural design. The sort of aesthetic of the TVA. The TVA has this sort of Jetsons-ish look. This very 1960s American sort of retrofuturism. And it's ordinarily, I love that era.
Careful, 2B. I'm picking up hostiles.
Oh boy. Excuse me. I especially love that era of retrofuturism. Like, I really love the sort of, what would be the term?
Over there.
Ray punk, I guess, technically? Maybe? Nah, that's more like 30s and 40s retrofuturism. Like, God, I don't know. Jetsons style type stuff. I love that. I'm a real sucker for that sort of thing most of the time. The problem is, with the aesthetic of the TVA and Loki, is that it combines a lot of those elements with a lot of the real architectural elements that you see in the 60s, particularly the worst architectural elements you see in the 60s, like Soviet brutalism. So we have this weird mix of all set in the same rough time period, which is, again, very strange for a sort of atemporal organization. Pretend that's possible for a moment. We'll get back to it in more. But it's all set from sort of the same time period and same slice of time aesthetic. But it combines the fantastical and the real. The problem with that, particularly in that era, is that the fantastical was incredibly high-minded, whereas the real was incredibly banal. Right? Brutalist architecture is gross. It is intentionally gross. That's the whole point. It is supposed to be overly simplified. Pure functionality, with no aesthetic value to it beyond its utility. Contrast this with the sloping curves and spires and things. Think Jetsons. That a lot of this was clearly inspired by. And you have this weird clashing architecture style that really is let me put it this way. When I first saw it, I reacted with cringe, maybe even disgust, when I saw that big panoramic shot of the TVA. Then I had to think back and wonder why. What's wrong with it? It's so cool and retrofuturistic, and it's so like Jetsonsy and stuff. And then I had to think back through it, and this is why it took a few days for me to realize this. I had to think back through it and realize that it's not just retrofuturism, the kind of thing that I really like, but it's that combined in a weird way with an aesthetic that is, which is almost the complete opposite of that aesthetic. It's like, God, I don't know what to even compare it to. It's like, I mean, we're playing an anime game, so I'll use that as an example. It's like if you had an anime where some of the characters were just inexplicably Western animation, or maybe that the backgrounds were done in a way that is very Western animation style, but the characters are all anime done. It would be so weird and off-putting that there are these contrasting and almost contradictory styles that are trying to coexist, but really can't. There's not much. There's a lot about it that I should like, but then because of this weird contrasting hodgepodge thing, I can't like it. And it's there's also a little more to it. Let's talk about this
Easy
kid
there,
first.
little guy. It's all right. You weren't scared, were you?
We should leave before more enemies arrive.
Come on, kid. Don't be unreasonable. Any ideas, 2B? I've never dealt with a snot-nosed machine before.
You got me.
Uh-oh. More enemies incoming.
I'm on it.
Mommy only ever praises my big brother. My little brother play with.
Oh, I see.
My big brother punched me, but somehow it was my fault.
Okay.
I hate my mommy.
It's definitely a sibling trouble thing. Oh yeah, mashed potato. That's a good way of. That's maybe a better example, right? So if it's an anime style, but the tropes and the writing are Western, right? It doesn't fit right. It doesn't fit like it should.
Are you finished? Your mother is worried about you. She sent us here to find you. So quit with the whining and let us take you home already.
Hey. Okay, let's go. Oh, this is gonna take forever, isn't it?
Stay close, all right? Don't go wandering off.
Hey, mister. Was mommy really worried about me?
She sure was. So let's go home and have you apologize, all right?
So while we're you're good. You know, now that I look at it, a lot of this architecture is fairly brutal. Of the destroyed human city, I mean. Conveniently. Fittingly with what we're talking about. Ow. Of course, being fairly brutalistic, it makes it hard to tell the difference between an intact city and a ruined one. But given that there's no people living here, I guess that's it. The main difference. Anyway, so another major point about the architecture, really in particular. The art and architecture, basically the style, the aesthetic style, is that I mentioned brutalism. It's not just the brutalist architecture, but it is the Soviet era art style you find a lot. Whether that is in the propaganda posters, whether that's in the architecture itself, whether that is in the statuary and such. Think of the statues of the space lizards. Is all very Soviet. Not only is that ugly, obviously, maybe ugly in a fascinating way. I have to wonder if it is intentionally done in that style, because the TVA is essentially an ultra-authoritarian organization. Right? Which is another big problem, because I get the impression that much like we saw in... Oh, no. A lot like we saw in particularly the revelations around the ending of WandaVision, as well as throughout a lot of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, current Marvel writers are having a hard time differentiating heroic from villainous actions. And the TVA here, as portrayed, this is pretty clearly the greatest evil in the MCU so far. Wiping out entire realities as a way of circumventing free choice. And I mean, look, Thanos only destroyed one reality, right? These guys are destroying realities constantly. All of reality, constantly. There's a lot wrong with that. Of course, it brings up some interesting philosophical questions, which are worth considering, some of which we talked about on Thursday. Issues involving how it works in terms of time. The short answer is it doesn't. It's utter nonsense, really. Reason, of course, being that the only way for the TVA to be manipulating and pruning alternate timelines, right, and governing the sacred timeline, as it were. The only way for that to work is if the timeline, if they are outside of time, if they are outside of space-time. Of course, if that's the case, if they're outside of space-time, then it's a bit nonsensical, not a bit nonsensical, it's completely nonsensical to say that they are, right, for them to have sequence, right? This is basically the problem of, okay, so Loki is a variant, okay? Loki is a variant at the end of the Battle of New York. Variant Loki goes and creates a Nexus event, a branch timeline. Okay, fine. Maybe that's coherent by itself. The problem is that from the perspective of the TVA, that happens at some point in their timeline. And by that happens, I don't mean Loki acts in a certain way in the prime timeline, in the sacred timeline. Or even Loki acts in two divergent ways in the sacred timeline and the branch, right? It's not like at some point Loki does this and that. It's that the sacred timeline is all there, and at some point in time, from the TVA's perspective, variant Loki did his variant thing and became a Nexus point. What can that possibly mean? It cannot possibly be meaningful to say that at some point in time, so to speak, that something changed at a point in time in the sacred timeline. It's utterly nonsensical. The TVA would know of all potential variants, or actual variants, I guess, whatever. Actuality and potentiality gets confused by people who don't believe in potentiality. Whatever. But the TVA would have to be aware of all variants throughout all of time, simultaneously. They could not have a sequence of events, either for themselves or with respect to the actual sacred timeline, because that would involve time, and they could not move, change, and interact, because that would involve space, both of which they are outside of, as evidenced by the Infinity Stones not working and being paperweights, which is another giant middle finger to everything that has come before. But I digress. I was already a little concerned by Wanda apparently creating a Mind Stone ex nihilo, that being in Vision's head. But she didn't, as it turns out. It was just a sort of sub-reality illusion type thing. It wasn't actually a real Infinity Stone. So that didn't ruin quite everything. Good. In any case, right, the fact that the Infinity Stones were destroyed by Thanos snapping his fingers without destroying all of reality seems like a weird kind of relationship between the Infinity Stones and reality, but I digress again. Point is that the TVA and their relationship to the Prime Timeline is unclear because it's incoherent. And that's a big problem from a world-building standpoint. Oh, you're back. Thank you so much for bringing him home. Selfish child, how dare you make me worry like that? Hey, no need to get all angry about this. But Mommy, no, don't cry. Do you have any idea how worried I was? She's being a little manipulative here, I get. Yeah, that's the impression I'm getting here. I'm sorry, Mommy, please don't cry. I'm sorry too, my darling, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, Mommy. Go on, honey, get yourself home. I have to thank these nice people for helping you. Okay, bye-bye, androids. I swear, sometimes I think that child's mind is just a bunch of bolts rattling around in an empty pail. I mean, he is a machine life form. What, 9S is a little racist. I never imagined how hard it would be to disconnect from the network. We're constantly misunderstanding each other. Still, on those rare occasions where we connect, it makes me so very happy. I can see that. Thank you again for bringing him home. This isn't much, but I'd very much like you to have it. Okay. Oh. Okay. I'll see you later, Machine Mom. Mutual misunderstanding without a network sounds tough. True, but it also seems kind of fun. Alright, complete. What else we got? Not that. Not that. That. Okay. Let's go to the Yora Betrayers first. Not that. Yora Betrayers. Let's see if we can find these betrayers, because we couldn't last time. Yeah. Another thing I mentioned about the I guess I should say something I didn't quite mention last time. I don't think I did. About the issues surrounding the moral character of the TVA. Part of what makes them so heinous is that they are. One of the things it brings up, I suppose, is an interesting ethical question having to do with free choice. So if the TVA, if what they do is they prune variance, they melt people. They melt you if you do something that does not conform with the Space Lizard's grand design. This brings up all sorts of questions about the nature of freedom. Primarily, I forget what the thought experiment is typically called in the literature, but it's a very common one. And I've brought this up in discussions of this game before as well, because it's very relevant. This game has a lot to do with issues of free choice, or free will, as it were. And one of the very common questions is whether free will, whether you can have free will or free choice without alternative possibilities, without alternative options, in other words. And this is, in large part, this is the question of whether free will is compatible with determinism. But it's not exclusively that. There's much more to it than that. It's much more complicated of a question. Because one aspect of the question can just be, can you be free? Can you have free will, even if it's under duress or under threat? So the TVA... okay, so let me put it one way. Part of what the TVA do is if someone is a variant, in other words, if someone makes a choice which is contrary to the Space Lizard's plan, they melt you, and they delete your timeline, only leaving the prime timeline to exist. And I can't reach it. Not quite. Nope. I have no idea where to find the Yora Betrayer. No idea. Um, yeah, so this question becomes important in the context of the TVA, right, and Loki, in that we have to ask: are people still free to make the choices that they make? Oops, my bad. If doing otherwise would cause them to be deleted, practically speaking. Basically, it's the question of whether you are free to act if you are under duress. If you would be stopped from doing an alternative. This is often cashed out in the question of, in the thought experiment that goes something like the following. Suppose that you are in a room. And in this room is everything that you want. You are perfectly satisfied with the contents of this room. You don't have anything that you don't, in other words, you want to stay here, right? You are, as far as you can tell at least, choosing to stay in this room. However, unbeknownst to you, the room is locked from the outside and you cannot leave. Eventually, say after spending a few hours in the room, voluntarily as far as you can tell.
Hang on, Tubby.
Oh, hey.
This machine is still alive.
So destroy it.
Maybe we should hold off. Its main drive has been trashed, so there's no way it can attack us. And we might be able to learn something interesting if we study it.
How have I never... What? How have I never encountered this before? I'm gonna try to repair some of these damaged circuits. Why? Learn more about the machines. Don't you think it's at least worth a shot? Oh, this is interesting. Going to need a pristine screw in order to finish the repairs. We might be able to find one in the remains of other enemies. Search for locations of relevant enemies.
Target location data obtained. Marking on map.
You know,
Bradley
I'm
says I
still
should be able
not
to
sure
find them if
any
I
of
just
this
run
is a good
around.
idea.
The more data we have, the better, right?
Yeah, the Aura Deserter should be around here somewhere. I'm in the red circle. I've basically searched the whole red circle. I ain't found crap. But apparently there are weird little things that trigger when you go to a very, very specific spot like that. Didn't know about. Search on top of the Goliath. I did. I thought I looked up there. Thought I did. I'm not very good at this. Subjugate another one. I want an army. Go try and look up on top of the Goliath again, yeah? Oops. Because that's definitely where it's circled, where the circle is sort of surrounding. It's around the Goliath. So it does seem reasonable that that's where I should be searching. But I don't know. No. They're not there. Search the other two locations. They can be in any of the other 3 spots in the map. Ah. I thought there was one in each. Alright, well in that case, let's go to the next one. Shall we? Thanks, Kusaba. So, in any case, part of the question at hand, right, is whether when you decide, or before you have decided that you want to leave the room, say that if hypothetically that door behind me over there were locked, and I didn't know this, right? I didn't know. I had no idea that the door was locked. I thought it was open. It's down. There's a basement in here. I wonder if it's here. No, it's not. The chest. Well, that's good to find.
We can use this screw to repair that big machine.
Oh, sweet. Well, that's good. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know where this is taking me. So the question, right, that I was starting to ask is whether, up until this point, was I, even if, suppose locked in this room, right, I don't know that I'm locked in the room. As far as I know, are you kidding me? Nope. That hurt a little. Anyway, let's go up. Normal way. So the question is, before you find out that you can't leave, are you choosing to stay voluntarily? So if the door is locked behind me, I don't know that the door is locked behind me. If it weren't locked, I would not be trying to open it. However, it is locked. I don't know that. Am I choosing freely to stay? Even though I have no option to do otherwise. Or if I try to do otherwise, I will be stopped by some unknown force, like the locked door in this case, or the TVA in Loki's case. Or in the MCU's case, I suppose, as a whole, now, like that. Typically, I would say that yes, you are still free to choose what you choose. Even if you were to do otherwise, something would stop you from doing so. I would still say, typically, we are free. We're still free to choose. Now, why this gets weird is that by the TVA pruning or deleting or melting alternative timelines, what this means is that we are taking a choice-based branching multiverse theory of causality and free will. So the model here is that a free choice and maybe a bunch of other things cause a split in the timeline, a split in reality, where one timeline continues along where you did one choice, the other where you did the other choice. Maybe there's an alternative timeline, an alternative version of reality in which I had this conversation after I talked to our redheaded resistance member. Right? Maybe I waited until after this conversation to continue talking about this. I don't know. On this model, both of those realities exist. They're just alternate ways that the world could go. Right? Okay, this is unparsimonious, ugly, and a very silly way of looking at the world, but it's also, importantly, in a large sense, it eliminates free choice, because free choice is the selection of one alternative, usually over and above or rather than another alternative, right? So this branching multiverse theory, or this branching multiverse model, has its own problems. Those problems get exponentially worse when you start deleting timelines, particularly because most versions of this model have a branching alternative at literally every free choice made by any creature, and or every quantum event where a quark spins up or spins down, right? Or I think something like that. This means that there are an uncountable number of branches at every moment. And so, of course, the TVA is not just going to one at a time. How could they? Okay, fine, even if they are outside of time, that doesn't make sense because they have potentiality to them, which is, of course, the what we use to measure the flow of time is the actualization of potential. In other words, change. None of it works, right? The elimination of branch timelines, not only is it metaphysical nonsense, but it provides its own weird moral problems, where it is not only the elimination of free will through metaphysics, but it's also the elimination of free will through choice, right? Through imposed policy. It's an enforcement of the elimination of free will, which is, I mean, kind of the most morally heinous thing that any comic villain has ever done. It's basically the anti-life equation, to use a DC analogy. Now, a lot of that was pointed out by another discussion I saw. So I recommended a couple of commentaries on this first episode. One from EFAP, Every Frame of Pause. Great commentary. I'll include that again as well in the description if you haven't seen it. It's good. But also, sorry, writing this down so I don't forget. Also, one from a commentary from Shadiversity and his sort of alternate channel Game Nights, with him and some of his friends were commentating on it and talking about, especially some of the stuff that the TVA, if taken at face value, did wrong. Mostly from a moral stance. They're criticizing them as clearly villains, whereas I don't know if the show is actually going to have them be villains. They could be the whole like twist villain thing, but you'd have to be an idiot to see them as anything except, unspeakable evil. Then again, some of the writers are idiots. I don't know. Endgame was kind of the endgame. I'm just saying. All of this, honestly, I think I said this Thursday too. If not, I've been talking about it elsewhere. Endgame worked as an end. It worked amazingly as an end. Phase 4, continuing from Endgame, was bound to be full of problems. Simply because the stakes in the world and everything about the MCU had shifted and changed so radically after Endgame, the writing becomes damn near impossible. And we've seen that so far with three out of 3 shows, where writing becomes kind of impossible post Endgame. The only thing that did a decent job with it, decent because it didn't deal with it, didn't deal with a lot of these issues, was Far From Home. Spider-Man Far From Home did a good job as a follow-up for Endgame because it was a very personal story. Rather than it being about big world-building stuff, they basically ignored all of the major changes after Endgame. The whole consequences of the snap, the 5-year time skip, the rampant disruption and destruction that half the population disappearing and then reappearing would cause, functionally losing probably 70 or 80% of the population, and then gaining back more people than are alive, probably 5 years later. Yeah, they kind of ignored all that. We're just like, oh yeah, no, all of the people who are relevant to Peter's life, they happen to also be snapped. And they just kind of pop back in 5 years later and they're in school again, so whatever, it's no big deal. They make an offhand joke about having IDs be different. Because the major plot point is Iron Man's death. It's Tony Stark's death that is the big deal in Far From Home. It's not the world building at all. And that's great. That's fine. I have no problem with that at all, because they did a decent job with it. But you can only ignore big world building concerns like this for so long. Until the problem gets worse. Anyway, how'd it go? Did you find that murdering wench in the Red Hood? Not exactly. We did learn that you sold the hood to someone. What? Apparently, a red-haired Resistance member sold the hood after the explosion in the ruins. This doesn't make sense. We're starting to believe you had something to do with the murder. That's impossible. I don't know any of that. Listen, if you... Look, you said there were still some records left in the pod, right? We have to look at them right now. Think about this for a second. I want you to understand what you're asking. You may have killed your own friend. I don't know how or why, but it's possible. I don't care. I have to know the truth, please. Alright, I'm heading in. Fascinating as well. It's another one of those where the question of the intrinsic value of knowledge comes to the forefront, right? Should we want to know something, even if it will be...
Examining storage circuits.
Even if it'll have no
92%.
benefit to us and will only cause us pain, knowledge is an intrinsic good. It is good to know things. Oh yeah, I think it was her. I'm a Type E. You're a Type E. Bruh. My function is to seek out and execute deserters and traitors. I disguise myself so I can approach my targets and kill without warning. One day I was ordered to kill my friend, so I did. I had my orders and I followed them. It was hard, so hard, and after a while I couldn't live with what I had done. You erased your own memories. Yes, but this wasn't the first time. I've killed comrades, friends, lovers. I've done it for more times than I can count. Again and again and again and again, and... Are you alright? Yes, I'm alright. Everything's alright. But you're a Type E, E for execution. Follow orders, I kill my friends. You solved it, solved the murder. Now I have to pay you. Wait, you don't... Do you need a friend killed, a lover? It's my job. My job! Job. Let's go. Good soldiers follow orders. What is that? Wire. There's a wire direction odds facing. If it hits a foe, it launches the combatant right to the target for an uplifted assault. No, I don't like that. Unleashes a blast. It sucks in any enemies in the vicinity. I don't know if I like that either. See, and I almost thought that it was a... that this is where we were going to find the door
Type
betrayer
E.
too.
I didn't know there was such a thing. Did you two be?
Some things are better left unknown.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, the whole the anime surprised noise. Very, very unique, isn't it? That's one of those things that that we're talking about massive variance in style between Western and Eastern animation. Very anime, incredibly anime. Gorgeous music, though. Let's go check the top of this building, shall we? Oops. What's this? Oh, just a way out. Ooh! Hello! Cool. Now that was tricky. Almost missed that. This is where we first landed in the city. No one here, though. Well, let's go check near the factory then. Oh, come on. Out the building under the bridge to the factory. Someone tell me if I'm missing something. I'm heading towards where the circle area is, so probably right around here. Kind of has to be, right? Well, that's weird. Hmm. I got nothing. Next main quest I have, Rally, is the underground one. This. That. One where I go underground and see the aliens. So check out the machine, and then I think I'll maybe do that. If this isn't gonna work yet. I can always do it later. This one doesn't disappear until the end. So, always wait a bit. Yeah, I thought they should be somewhere, but it could, like Rally said, it could be a glitch or something. It's possible. Alright, let's see. 47 minutes later. Okay then, let's see what we got. Kagels 110. I was Manu Huma. Question of stat. Think and talk? Seems we're playing some kind of data. Oops. Machines don't have a conscious mind, you know. Managed to pull some data out of its memory. Seems to be info on the factory where it was constructed. I'll save it into a readable format. Right. Is everything? No, there seems to be more. I need additional parts to access the rest. Let's see. 4 pristine screws and 1 large gear should be enough to bridge the gap in its memory circuits. Fair enough.
Target location data obtained. Marking on map.
Yeah, this is something I'd like to do.
Did you learn anything from the factory data?
Just how it was manufactured. Pretty boring, actually.
There's still a lot about machines that we don't understand. Gather as much data as you can, no matter how irrelevant it may seem.
Alright. Big explosion. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm so happy I can one-shot those. Hate those stupid things. Didn't think that through. I'm okay. Darn. Oops. All right. Oops. Oh. I only need to talk to the machine to finish it. Oh, I thought I already had finished it. I thought the next one was at a different location or something. Yeah, I should probably do that before this. I have time. Where is it, though? There. Go up over there, right? Yeah, up here. let's turn in our parade quest. It's you. Afraid I was simply no longer able to deal with it. Joy, love, what's the point? Happiness wasn't going to keep me from getting killed, now was it? Wish to know where the rest of the paraders went. Took off on some kind of journey to bring joy to the ends of the earth. It was their cry, if I remember correctly. I lost contact with them once they reached the deep desert. I imagine now they're dead by the side of some road. No doubt they were rambling on about love and happiness to the bitter end. What madness. Okay. That seems to imply that they are still in the desert. Alright. Down we go.
The ground is caved in. There must have been a hollow down there this whole time.
Weird spider thing. Tried that. Alright, cool.
This hallway looks pretty old.
Yep, pretty old. Those are creepy machines. Don't like those. Something weirdly creepy about the drones.
Look at all these dead machines. Seems like they've been here for a long time.
Huh. So we've done this before, but I'm very interested to see what the additional perspective here is.
What is this place?
I don't know. There's nothing like it in the database.
This is one of those parts where it left a lot of unanswered questions, but alluded to a lot of possible answers.
Are they dead?
2B, look!
Destroyed alien motherships.
Welcome to the graveyard of our creators.
You.
To be! Look out!
My name is Adam. The aliens you seek are no longer here. They were wiped out centuries ago. By us. The machines.
Wiped out.
And who knows? Perhaps we'll wipe out the androids next. Machines are weapons capable of evolution. We can grow. We can become...
Darn it.
Eventually, the intelligence within our network began to surpass that of our creators. You'd probably be surprised at how quickly it happened.
You destroyed your own creators?
Oh, there's no need to fret about them. They were simple, infantile, almost like...
Darn it! Oh my god.
They held no value to us. But the humans on the moon? Now they are interesting.
Why them?
Because they are an enigma. They killed uncountable numbers of their own kind, and yet loved in equal measure. It's fascinating, don't you think? What could possibly drive such behavior?
Oh, they move. That's awful. There we go. Okay.
We have dedicated ourselves to unraveling this riddle of humanity. And now...
Darn it.
You were made in their image, after all.
Assist you with what?
It's simple. We need you to locate the humans on the moon and bring them to us. We will then dissect and analyze them in order to drag their secrets forth into the light. Surely...
Are you insane? We'd never do...
Okay. Okay.
Can you believe this, 2B? This guy's bonkers.
Well, I suppose this concludes negotiations. The only remaining option is to destroy you. The same way we destroyed these pathetic little aliens. Time grows short. This year, this is the fate that befell our creators.
As for your beloved humans, I guess we'll see, won't we?
They're gone.
The aliens were already dead.
Yeah. We better get back to the bunker.
Funky tentacle monsters. Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get more sort of revelations out of that. I thought we would. Honestly, we kind of got less, honestly. If only because we kept cutting him off while he was talking by hacking.
Back this way again?
You know.
What a pain.
Stop complaining.
Yeah, yeah.
2B, this is Operator 60. We now have an operational transporter in the city ruins.
We're attempting to deploy them at other points as well.
About time we had access to those.
Care to fill me in?
Transporters? They let you transfer your consciousness to a temporary body back in the bunker. I heard some tech guys talking about it a while ago, but I didn't know they'd finally got it working. Anyway, I'll mark the positional data on the map.
Guess this is for another character or another ending or something. Gotta be. Or later? I don't know. We'll see. Hey, they gave us a ladder. Nice.
Hey, how's it hanging?
You again.
Your commander told me to build a new access point, so here you go. Oh, and I got the stupid transporter up and running too.
Thank you?
I've known the commander for a while now. She sure is good at pawning work off on people. Next time you see her, give her some lip for me, will ya?
So this has a transporter now, huh?
Still, transporters are pretty handy. They're way faster than flight units when it comes to traveling between Earth and the bunker. Flight units also leave us open to attack, and they're expensive to operate, too.
Save. Check our inbox. Nothing new. Transport to the bunker. Yeah. For now, at least. Here we go.
I killed my father. I killed my mother. I killed my father. I killed my mother. And in his hand he coldly gripped both the joy of growing up and the agony of being alone.
Very Freudian. Very Freudian. From what I know, Freud has some concepts about the. I mean, in most cases, at least,
That
obviously
concludes our
metaphorical.
report on the events surrounding
killing
the
of one's
alien
parents.
wreckage. Then they were dead this whole time. The Council of Humanity needs time to formulate a plan. Until then, this information must be kept confidential. Speak of it to no one. Of course, your
Kinda
next
speaking a
mission
little loud.
is to gather additional intel on the individual known as Pascal.
You mean that freaky machine we ran into?
This order comes directly from the Council. Knowledge of such unique individuals is essential for the success of future missions. Understood.
Yeah, so Freud's idea of killing one's parents is not like, stabbing them to death type thing. It's a way of talking about surpassing. Right? Surpassing, especially in the sense of growing up, and I've talked about this before as well in I think when we were playing Dragon Age, maybe.
The commander sure is a slave driver, huh? And now we have to go back to the city ruins.
I was talking about how.
Why don't we rest a little bit, 2B? It's been a while.
I'll rest if I feel like it.
I'm doing it well. Anyway. But yeah, the what's this? Anyway, but yeah, the idea is that when one reaches or begins to reach adulthood, one begins to recognize one's parents as more like peers than like some kind of analogy to God. Right? No, I don't have the materials. Darn. I'd really love to upgrade these. Okay. Alright, in that case, let's do our plug-in chips. Customize. The auto heal is good. Chain. Chance to restore 40% damage taken. That's useful. Wait, there's hacking chips. Hello. Hijack boost +6. Huh? Circuit of foe. Fire. Drops up. Let's do that. More efficient. By a lot. A lot more efficient. Skill down, movement speed, auto use. There. Alright, I have 2 slots left, so I can fiddle with something, but... What's this? Auto heal? Still need that. Alright. Do some mining. Using, whatever. Oh, hey, there we go. That's much better. That's so much more efficient. Oh my gosh, I did not realize what I was missing out on. That's actually pretty good. It's pretty efficient. That's going to be massive if I up it to a 4, so let's not. Just... So we can do 2 3s and that'll be good. Alright, cool. So let me... Alright, so let me start over really quick. And not those. Attack up. It's optimal 1. It's optimal shockwave. Chain. What's this do? Would stagger? Offensive heal. Wait. 3. Or auto heal 3. Set 3. Let's cool down 3. 8 range. Speed 4. This item. King. I can boost. Six left, so I can do not quite. XP, cool. That's pretty good. Down. Could have one more. All right, cool. That was helpful. What's happening? That was really weird. Oh, God. Okay, so I have done this already. I have already gotten that ending. I don't need to do it again.
This job can be pretty rough sometimes, huh?
We don't get to choose our assignments, and you should work on keeping your opinions in check. Yorha aren't allowed to be emotional, remember?
I think some of us are better at that than others. Speaking of emotion, those Adam and Eve units sure seemed less than logical.
I'm heading to the transporter.
Fine.
Eve, I mean, do you even know who this war is for at this point? Never mind, I've said too much. Yeah, that definitely makes it sound like there aren't humans anymore. This is... Oh, up. Okay. What the... Yeah, that definitely makes it sound like something happened to the humans and there aren't any anymore. Operator, what are you doing? What am I doing? I'm analyzing data. Is this part of your current assignment? No, it's merely a hobby. Wait, really? The world contains a vast amount of data, coordinates, network node readings, photographic images, and so on. Analyzing this data can often lead to discovering new information. I spend my downtime seeking out such information. It seems kind of boring, no offense. More interesting than engaging in mindless banter. Hey, still, there might be a way to make this chatter less mindless. There's a data terminal in the abandoned factory that I cannot access with our satellites. If you feel like helping, you can head over there and transfer the data to me. Happily agree to help. Wonderful. I'll send the coordinates at once. The terminal is kind of hard to find, so keep your eyes peeled. I'll let you know once I find it. Cool. Okay. I think that's it. Save. I'm not. Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna do the jackass thing. Oil field. Oil field? Oh, ooh, that. Right. Flooded City? There was something we needed to do down here. I don't remember what it was. But let's go to the factory. We got a factory too. We got a factory thing or two to do. We'll finish with that. Probably. We got 20 minutes. Not much more than this to do. I don't want to continue on the main quest just yet. If I remember correctly, the next part of the main quest is a big deal. Because it's the part where we go after the cult in the factory, I think, with Pascal. If I'm not mixing that up for something else. Wow, that transfer just, like, shocked me with color. The world of this game is not terribly colorful, but once you realize, once you recognize the... How do I put this? The contrast, I guess the saturation. Sorry, that was a bad joke. The difference in, I guess I would say saturation, between what we find here, even though it's pretty bleak and not actually very colorful, the contrast with the complete black and white grayscale bunker. It's such a difference. It's a huge difference, really. Let's just regain hit points. That many hit points. Oh yeah, I'll check the betrayers again too. Like I said, I want to try and find the this. That means going through all, or maybe most of the factory. The map does not show me. Okay. Can't go in there. We go up.
This whole place is like a giant machine's nest. I wonder what it used to be like.
Accessing historical...
Wait. Is it the pod accessing historical records, or...?
This location was once used for weapons production and experimentation.
No kidding? What kind of weapons?
Humanoid combat robots. Common examples include the P-22 and P-33 models.
Human-shaped weapons, huh? Wonder if they worked like flight units.
Unknown. No image-based information exists.
Okay.
I think I can access the data over there. There we go. That's what 210 wanted. Now I just have to send it to her.
Alert. Poor reception in this area is preventing data upload. Proposal. Unit 9S should move to an area with better reception.
Got it.
Alright, let's head back out. At least this was a relatively easy trek into the labyrinthine factory. And Betrayer's on the way out.
This should be good enough. Pod, upload that data to Operator 210.
Affirmative.
Operator 210 to 9S. Come in.
This is 9S.
I received the data you sent. It's fascinating. It appears to be the journal of a human who once worked in the factory.
What, like a diary?
Yes. According to this, the man worked long hours on an almost daily basis. He says, and I quote, "They are working me like a machine." Working like a machine to build a machine? Humans truly were strange creatures.
Sounds like it.
I'll send you a reward later.
Wait, I can get rewarded for doing this?
I didn't say you would not get a reward.
No, but...
Jesus.
Hey, don't disconnect me.
Oh, I have mail. I kind of figured.
Mail notification received from access point.
I kind of figured. Oops. Reward! Yay! Alright, cool. Save. Level up! Alright. I have leveled a lot tonight. Didn't I start at like 31? Alright, let's check this area again. Superhero landing. I don't think so. You know, it's a little silly, but like one of those game design type things. So, when games have double jump, it seems strange, almost, and maybe wasteful even in some cases, to single jump. Like a single jump almost feels unnatural when you have the option for a double jump. Seems like you're almost not jumping. Look for the other areas. There's definitely Denny. I mean, actually, I could have subjugated that.
Operator 60 to 2B. Come in, 2B.
2B here.
The monitoring signal from the new access point has gone silent. I'm sending you the positional data. Please investigate the site as soon as possible.
Understood.
Kinda could have just lasered him.
We know we can find Pristine Screw.
Let's try the 9S to operator. We're trying to track down a large gear. Any idea where to start the search?
Why are you looking for... Well, anyway, you can salvage the requested material from smaller machine lifeforms. Finding one intact might prove tricky, however. The part is easily damaged when the machine housing it is destroyed.
Thanks, operator. That's good to know.
Right. Let's go take out some small fry.
Straight to the point as always, 2B.
Climb up top, see if it's up here. This time. Huh. That's its chin.
They're from your
Aha!
Alert. Targets are rogue units 22B and 64B, currently designated for detention.
They come for us, idiot! Prepare to engage and inform the captain!
Got it!
Is that Captain? Well, that's interesting. I'm guessing that's 2A or whatever.
The captain is ordering a retreat!
Understood!
Darn it. Okay, that's not great.
They got away.
Okay. Well, I found him. I'm wondering if the captain is 2A. Don't spoil it if it is, but that's my guess. I mean, to be fair, that's the only other sort of rogue Yora that seems to be otherwise fairly competent. Okay. Darn it. Jesus. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna check... Oh, wait. I did check this area for the betrayers. Didn't... Something to check there. It's the race. Alright, tell you what. We're about out of time. So we'll pick up here next time. And then... Let me quick save. Go. So, we'll pick up here next time, continuing with a lot of side quests and maybe advance the story a little tiny bit more. We have learned a good bit, although, like I said, I was a little surprised that we didn't learn a lot more about the aliens from 9S's perspective. I totally thought by hacking Adam and Eve we would get a lot more on that. Regardless, a lot of fun. I think I'm getting better in hacking. Maybe not. I'm glad we got to talk about how bad Loki is. And I'm just so disappointed. It could have been. I was about to say it could have been good, but its placement after Endgame means that that's a very uphill battle. Anyway, thank you all for joining me tonight. Be sure to join me again on Monday for continuing Dragon Age Origins Awakening. We'll be moving on to where are we going next? We just went to the Wending Wood. I don't know. We'll find out. um, probably the Black Marsh, where there's a lot of major story stuff to go on. We find out a whole hell of a lot about the architect that we saw last time, so that should be a good time. And if I see you then I will see you then, hopefully. And otherwise, I will see you again next Thursday as we continue through NieR Automata. So, thank you all once again for joining me. Great night.